Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author, Letters from a Bookish Fangirl, Team Lines of Poetry collection, and Finding God Anime Devotional for Otakus, which is free on a variety of platforms, and if you'd like to check it out, I'll leave a link down below. Happy Wednesday, my friends! I cannot believe this is the final and last Top 5 Wednesday of 2021. Dude, like, wow, it has been such an amazing year, and thank you guys so much for just joining me on this Top 5 Wednesday adventure. It has been sort of like a low-key dream of mine when it came to YouTube to do Top 5 Wednesdays. So earlier this year, I decided, hey, I'm gonna try it, and almost every Wednesday we have done a Top 5 Wednesday video, and I absolutely love it. I love hearing from you guys, and just thanks so much for watching. I confess, I procrastinated on this video. I really put it off because it is a hard one. But in case if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, Top 5 Wednesday was formed by Lainey back in 2013. The group is now since on Goodreads, and I'll also leave a link down below in case if you'd like to check it out. Our host puts together a series of prompts, and on Wednesday we answer those that prompt with 5 books, or in this case manga, that reflect that said prompt. And today's prompt is your favorite books of this year. And how does one decide what their 5 top favorite books were from 2021? I mean, I read so many incredible manga. Like, this list was very hard and very easy, which sounds sort of like weird to say that. I did feel I knew my top 4. Like, I had no issues with my top 4 whatsoever, but my 5th one was incredibly hard. Like, just ridiculously hard. So we're gonna do our best. I figured the way I'm gonna do this Top 5 Wednesday video today is I'm gonna share the manga in order that I read the manga. Now, one of these is on here, and I definitely knew about the manga beforehand, but it wasn't until October that I seriously started reading this manga, so I did not feel comfortable saying it for number 1. But honestly, these are in no certain order. I adored all of these mangas so much, and the reason I'm gonna say that I'm choosing these is because I feel it was the ones I was most excited about. I was excited about all the manga I read mainly, but especially if I'm featuring it on this channel. But for these 5, I feel it's the one that I went out of my way, where I bought merch for it, or I joined Facebook groups or followed fan pages that every time I get a new release, I'm obsessed with it and reading it that same day. So I tried to think of, okay, what are 5 series that for when I think of my norm manga and what I usually do concerning that manga, that I really went out of the way to support these manga series or to go be involved in the community that love that manga or that anime. With that ramble aside here, what about if we go ahead, kick it off for number 1, and you guys knew it was coming, A Sign of Affection. Yes, this josei series is absolutely amazing. You will hear often, not just from me, but from people who have read this manga saying, it's so good. It's so incredible. You need to read it. And the hype for this is super real. It is a phenomenal story. I definitely have a video review that goes way more in depth of my thoughts on this, spoiler free of course. And Sign of Affection just, it is perfection. It really is. It has excellent characters, and the storytelling is so engaging, and I just find it fascinating. That's not the right word. I keep saying that, but I find it amazing from the point of a storyteller and looking at the storytelling of how Yuki cannot hear, but we are able to get all of her senses and her view and her feelings on page without her speaking. I mean, I feel like in manga, that's a really important aspect of manga is speaking, the characters talking, and sometimes we'll get that internal dialogue, but I mean, Yuki is such a character that you just cannot help root for. You cannot help but love her because she's so sweet and so wholesome, and the manga is just amazing. It is amazing. I love the romance between these two. They're just so sweet, and I just honestly cannot wait for the next manga, or the next volume I mean. It's supposed to be releasing next month, and come on, Kodansha, do not push this title back. Please don't. Like, this is one that as soon as I get it in the mail, I read it, and then after I read it, I go ahead and reread it again. I do not do that often or at all with any of my manga where, like, the same day it arrives, I'm reading it ASAP and then rereading again. Slime Affection is a very special manga in that regard because I don't do that often whatsoever. But if you have not checked out Slime Affection and you need just an excellent josei in your life, Slime Affection has your back. For number 2, this is the manga that got me on the colored manga hype train, and I absolutely love it, and that is Play It Cool, Guys. I actually got this volume as a review copy through Beneath the Tangles, the website that I blog for, and I remember I brought it with me as I was going to pick up my kids from school, and I'm in the car line waiting, and I laughed so much in those opening chapters. Like, this manga was a very big surprise for me. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, but I love all 4 of these guys. They're so relatable and they're so cool, but they are just so goofy. It is so precious. I absolutely love it. I was bummed that I missed getting some of like the acrylic stands of these dudes because I love them so much, and this is another manga that I eagerly anticipate and get so excited when we get a new volume. In fact, I teared up in excitement and literally flailed in my home at my desk when I saw that Yen Press has blessed us with a volume 3 coming out this upcoming year. Like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I absolutely adore this series. It's so good, and I love just the colored pages. I love with the color. It just, man, there's such a beautiful like harmony on the pages. It's very well done. This is one I also have a video review of. I have actually one for volume 1 and volume 2 if you want to check them out, but volume 2 does have sort of like minor spoilers in regard to volume 1 a little bit, but it is so good. If you're like, I want to discover or I want to try colored manga, but I don't know what to try, bam, please try Play It Cool, Guys. It is just so much fun, and it's just a great time. I feel like this is the manga I read when I need like a pick-me-up, or I just need some laughter in my life. Like, this one I have reread again just because I wanted something to make me smile and to brighten my day, and these dudes never fail to do that whatsoever. For number 3, I'm really excited to talk about this one as well because this is probably like the new fandom that I've really been engaging in, and not just because of the anime releasing, but Spy X Family or Spy Family, however you want to say it. Oh my goodness, I love Spy X Family or Spy Family. Lloyd, oh my goodness, I love Lloyd. He is one of my top 5 like favorite male characters that are not specifically from Haikyuu, because Haikyuu just takes the win in top 5 characters like ever. So, but I love Lloyd, I love Yor, I love Anya, I love Bon, I love all of these characters. The storytelling is so incredibly good, and it's just a great and fun story, and it's like one that just gets my heart pounding with the ship feels, because how can you have a ship but the ship isn't exactly sailing? Like, it's a really weird thing. I would say more, but I definitely said a lot in this video review of this manga because I love this so much. I had pre-ordered the volumes as sort of as they released, and then I just let it sit on my shelf. I think it was just because I wanted to make sure that, like, if there were any cliffhangers, it wouldn't be like absolute agony and I'd have the next one. I'm sort of low-key doing that for the newer volumes that are releasing, but with the anime coming, I'm like, I really have to be on top of these volumes because I want no spoilers, even though I'm pretty sure season 1 is not going to surpass from what I've read so far, which I think is up to volume 5, 6? I think it's 6, because I think 7 is up for pre-order right now. But, oh my goodness, yes, like this story I feel like is for anybody. Like, even if you're like, I don't like shonen, I'd be like, go read it. Just go read it, because it has, I think, something for everybody with excellent characters. You have a really sweet young character, Anya, and if you've read this manga, you know how precious Anya is. She honestly steals the show, even though Lloyd is still my favorite character. It has great family vibes, even if the family vibes are like really funny and not your typical family vibes. I should say typical in quotes, because it's just great. It really is. It's hard to put words or put this manga into words because there's just so many different fantastic things about it that really just pulls you in and engages you, I feel like right from the beginning, to be honest, and it just keeps going with awesomeness and great characters, and the romance is like one of my favorite things. It's so precious, man. It is so precious. I know that this manga does not center around the romance, but I cannot help but ship it, man. I just cannot help but ship it. So in recent weeks, I decided to join a Spy X Family, Spy Family Facebook group, and I love it. In fact, one Saturday night, I sat there for an hour just looking at memes and pages that have been shared and just laughing. Like, laughing to the point that I had tears in my eyes. Like, I just love these characters so much. They are another one of my happy place character kind of things where I'm like, man, I need some happiness. Boom. I know that this manga has my back. I really, really enjoy them, and I'm really looking forward to the anime coming out next year. Like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And speaking of anime, for number 4, what got me into this manga is the anime, and you guys know it, Haikyuu! Yes! Oh man, there's so much I could say on this manga. There honestly is. I talk about often, I talk about often on Instagram, I talk about wherever I can, to be honest, because I love it. I love these characters. Never have I wished a character in a, bunch of characters were honestly real. Like, I was reading Haikyuu actually last night. I'm so close to finishing my personal read-along, or reading, however you want to say that. And yes, to answer anybody's question that might be wondering, I am going to be doing Shay's readathon, read-along of Haikyuu next year as well, but I'm trying to finish reading myself, doing my own personal reading, because that was my goal this year, was to read Haikyuu, and I am so close, guys. I'm hoping actually this Friday to do a video review of the series, not spoiler free. But this series, honestly, like I said, the other night I was reading, and it just almost brought tears to my eyes, because I just was like, I really wish with all my heart these characters were real. And my husband's told me, he's like, they're real in your heart. And I'm like, yes, they definitely are very much real in my heart. But I'm like, I would love to just know that I could fly to Japan and boom, go meet Hinata, go meet all of these guys. Because honestly, as the manga progresses, well, has progressed, I should say, I have just started to really love all of these characters. Right now, there's only one character I do not like. I am not going to say his name because the manga is not over, and Sensei here, he definitely knows how to be like, oh, you don't really like this character? Let me change your mind here in just a few volumes. So we're going to see what happens there. But I just love this manga. I love everything about Hinata. I love his passion. I love his drive. And he has just inspired me so, so much. So hopefully here, guys, I can actually give a full review of this series and just all its amazingness. I highly recommend it. This is one of the first times, I think, where I watched the anime first and then I read the manga, and honestly, the manga is better. Even though, I've watched the anime, I knew everything that was going to happen in the manga, up to the point where, the seasons, stop and we don't know what's happening next in the anime. Well, anyway, I shouldn't say it like that, but, when I'm in the unanimated territory, there we go. Hopefully, yeah, that made sense. This was the first time where I watched the anime, and then I read the manga, and it blew me away even more. Even though I knew exactly what was going to happen, I still was blown away in the manga, and I just thought that really incredible. In fact, like I said, I definitely love the manga more than the anime. The anime is amazing, and if you're like, I don't really want to commit to the manga, totally commit to the anime. It's worth it either way. You just get so much more, I feel like, with the manga. In fact, one of the funny things was, and then I'll stop at this ramble, okay? One of the funny things is a lot of characters that I did not like in the anime, which wasn't a lot, but the few characters that I didn't like a lot in the manga, my view totally changed. I really just started to love their character and could see the growth. And I mean, honestly, I don't know what changed, because the anime is a really faithful adaptation to the manga. I mean, it only highlights how great the manga is and makes the manga even better, in my opinion. But I don't know, I was able to retain it differently, I guess, and I was just like, man, I really love these guys even more. So Haikyuu is special for a lot of different reasons, but if I could just say one for a recent reason that's not repetitive of all the other reasons, I would definitely say just of how it has helped me to like characters that I did not like in the beginning, but then they have this amazing ongoing character growth and just really, really love them. Yeah, definitely. Oh man, so we are outside of the top 4 that I knew for sure that I wanted to say on this list, hands down, and on to number 5. And I think this was hard, guys. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, number 5 was really, really hard, and I'm pretty sure that this is the one. That this is the one. So for number 5, I am going to say Kaiju number 8. I know this recently just released and it only has 1 volume. Well, if you go on the Shonen Jump app, you could definitely read a lot more of the story. My husband's been doing that. But this story was amazing. It was so unexpected of how epic and awesome and funny this manga was. I love it so, so much. And I try to think of, okay, what is a manga that I got really excited for, and I knew that that excitement was coming out to other people and showing them how much I love that. And I definitely think that it was a success in showing that in my video review here, because I had just been really looking forward to that review so much and just gushing about how amazing these characters are. It is so, so good. Like, I honestly hope that we get an anime of this, because I just want to see these guys on the screen. Like, I will take all the content that I can and just soak this in, because it is a fantastic story that's just very humorous with excellent characters. It has Ichikawa. He is one of my new, like, favorite dudes. Absolutely love him. But Kafka, he's also one of my favorite characters as well, and he is just a great main character. Like, you honestly just cannot help but cheer for him and hope for the best for him. And then Ichikawa comes in and he's just equally great. That does not describe it at all, I know, but I just really, really like them both, and they make an epic duo. And all the characters, like, there's just so much goodness in this and so much action and feels, like, so many feels. Like, you're like on the edge of your seat, and then as like the volume's progressing, bam, you're like hit with this strong case of feels. Like, it's so good. This is another manga I'm pretty 99.9% sure we are going to have all of the character growth, and I'm going to really like everybody that is in this manga. I already do, but like, I feel like it's just going to grow even stronger, and I'm really, really excited for the next volume and volumes to release. It is just so good. Like, highly, highly recommend it, especially since there's only 1 volume. It's easy to start getting like caught up in the now and not like be like me and like wait for all of Haikyuu to release and like, you know what, we're finally going to start reading it, you know, because that can definitely be overwhelming. I definitely get that. So if you're like, I need to start at the beginning, boom, Kaiju number 8 is a great one to start. This is another one that I think is a really good one. Like, regardless of like what genres are your favorite, I would still recommend checking this out. And I do want to do an honorable mention, okay? I really do, because this one and Kaiju number 8 were my contenders for number 5. And it's funny to me because I don't read a lot of shonen, but I feel like, 3 out of the titles that I mentioned are shonen, which is very interesting to me. I like to think of that some more, to be honest, because I mainly review only shoujo, but then my top 5 has shonen on it, so that was very interesting. So this is a shoujo title, and it is High School Debut. That is my honorable mention, and my contender for number 5. Oh my goodness, Haruna and Yo are absolutely amazing. I love them. This was such a fantastic series. I got this from Maeve. I got this from Maeve, and I am just so thankful that she reached out and asked if I'd be interested in it, because yes, and she recommended it as well. So it was just, dude, it was just so good. It was so good. I really, really, really enjoyed this, and I do have a video review of it. I think that this was one of the shoujo titles I feel like I have thought about often, even though it's been a while since I've read it. And I definitely think of like other shoujo, but when I think of a shoujo that I really feel like I felt a wide spectrum of emotions, High School Debut definitely delivered in all of that, and I really love the characters, except for one girl. I can't remember her name, but I did not like her. She was the only character that was, like, definitely not my favorite, and I did not like when she came on page. But Haruna is just such a joy, and I feel like this manga is just shows just the importance of like knowing who you're dating, and just gives like this really wise, low-key dating advice that is awesome, and shows such a healthy and epic, blooming, growing romance. It is so good. It's definitely a shoujo I would highly recommend, and I know it's the only shoujo I have on this list, and I love it. I really, really do. I have thought about even like getting a few of the individual volumes just because I love it so much. Like, I just want to support this mangaka, and I do have her other series, My Love Story, but High School Debut definitely I think takes the win in my favorite shoujo manga this year because of how invested I was and just how I kept thinking about this and still think about it. It's just such a phenomenal story. And that, my friends, were the 5 manga that were my favorite from this year of 2021, and it's just surreal, to know that we are here, and also my honorable mention, my shoujo honorable mention, which makes me very, very happy. And I hope that you guys just enjoyed this video. I would love to hear from you. What were some of your favorite manga series or manga volumes from this year that you would recommend? I would love to hear about them. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching, friends. Bye!